What you're seeing here was an exciting moment for me. It was the very first time I drove my pickup truck. Not only does it go forward, it also goes backwards, and it seems like it's got all the power in the world. Does that mean the transmission is just fine and I'm totally in the clear about it? I still have my doubts even to this day. In this video, you'll find out why.
A few days before.
Hello there. This is another day. It's a different video. And I'm sitting in my truck. Look, I got a brake pedal that I can depress just enough so that I know it's working. I am really excited about this because when I first got the truck, basically there was no brakes. The brake line that is inside the frame on this side of the truck, it was rusted out completely, so there was no brake fluid left for that. And I think in the front possibly it was still there, but the brakes just weren't good. So they're all restored, guys. I'm like, this is exciting. This was a lot of work. This took me a long time to get to this point, but now the truck still isn't driving. And the reason for that is that I haven't paid any attention to the transmission, because what's the point? If you have no brakes, then you better leave that stuff completely alone, because it's just trouble. You know, if you put that truck in gear and there's no brake and it rolls into, look, across the back alley from me, there's somebody's fence, there's somebody's garage, there's these garbage bins, and yeah, behind me it's our own fence. And well, of course you could jack up the back wheels and play with it and try it out and stuff, but I prefer to have brakes done first. So now is the time to drain the transmission oil and see what this actually looks like. You know, is there any hope for it? Because after I did the rear brakes, I put it in gear and it didn't do nothing. I took out the dipstick after I had it into the different positions there, and it wasn't showing anything. So obviously the oil is super low. And I was faced with the option of maybe just putting more oil in and then put it in gear and see what happens. But I don't know how old this transmission oil is, so I didn't want to do that. You know, if I top it up with new oil, then basically I'm wasting that oil because I have to change it anyways. And you can leave me a comment and you can say, don't change it because, yeah, sometimes you have trouble after you change it. Well, I'm taking that chance because I just don't know how old this transmission is. And yes, there is a chance that I'll have to take it out of the truck, take it apart, see what's inside, see what needs to be replaced. Basically a rebuild. It is possible. But when I checked the oil, when I bought this truck, it was a nice red color, which tells me that there's a pretty good chance that there's nothing wrong with it. But, of course, there's no guarantee. So, we're going to go under the truck next. This is the transmission. It is still filthy from whatever antifreeze leaked on it. I'll have to do some scraping there, that's for sure. I was kind of eager to get this pan pulled off just to see what comes out of it. I think what I need to do is jack up the truck again. How did this... Shut up, dog. How did this transmission ever get so dirty? Just the fact that there's so much sand on it. Yeah, you guys, I'm talking to the camera here. Seems like the dogs always think that somehow they're the boss. But see what I made here with, and you could probably not see this once I'm under the truck. It's a special kind of brush with a big handle on it, so I can actually get to the top of this thing, because now I'm cleaning the transmission and I'm gonna do a good job. It's gonna be at least as clean as I can get it. This is a fairly stiff brush. It should... See that stuff falling out of there? Yeah, it's pretty darn bad. There, this is what I'm dealing with. Yeah, I mean, I just thought I'd show you. So this is not the ideal position, you know. Maybe ideally I just take the transmission right out to clean it, but that's kind of the thing I'm trying to avoid if possible. If this thing runs, it's going to stay in there, no doubt. I got tired of brushing, so I got out the pressure washer, but the garden hose is not long enough. But I got it hooked up here. Yeah, water is on. So I'm just going to crawl under there with the wand and see how far I could get, how close.
Extremely dirty process that wasn't recorded but looked similar to this.
Ooh, wow. So this transmission has to dry. I'm just gonna leave this alone for today. Put the pressure washer away again, you know, and then it's gonna be supper time and nothing much is gonna happen for the rest of this day. Once again, I didn't get done what I was hoping for today. This is the pattern with this truck. I think it's just something to adjust your expectation, but this truck is coming along, guys. So it's the next day, guys. And what you're going to witness next should not really be part of a truck overhaul. Have a look at this. I washed my transmission yesterday, and this is what I have left in my pan that just happened to be under the truck while I was doing it. Yeah, this is only part of the dirt. Like 10 minutes of me wiping the pan. That's just the way it goes. So now I'm gonna grab my ratchet, a small extension, 1/2-inch socket, and we're gonna loosen those bolts until the transmission oil comes out, and then we're gonna catch it in the white pan so I can better inspect what is in there. And I'm hoping that there won't be that much in there. The white pan might actually be enough because I know the fluid level is low. I would have really liked to see a drain plug for the transmission just to avoid the mess that this is probably going to make. But see that there's nothing coming out yet. So you could tell how low the oil actually is. You know, maybe I could take the whole pan off without even draining anything. Now, wouldn't that be something? I just take it straight off. There's so little oil in there that nothing's come out yet. There is oil, I could tell that, but it is not much. And I really don't want to get it all over myself. Okay, we got the pan. It's loose. You're gonna see it coming down. Oh, yeah, it's dripping. So yeah, I'm just giving this a minute to finish dripping, and then I'm gonna take out this pan, and then I'm gonna transfer this fluid into this white one. Then hopefully we're gonna see if there's any nasty stuff in there. I'm not sure what to think about this. There are two bolts here that are stuck to the magnet, and there's definitely a bit of stuff on there. I'm not sure how bad this really is. I'm gonna have to invest into some transmission fluid, but first I would have to figure out where these bolts came from. The fluid itself looks like it's old. Doesn't look alarming. Well, one thing is for sure, this transmission is not new. It's got 300 and some thousand kilometers on it, and I'm not sure how often this oil was changed during this time. I have the feeling that maybe somebody's been in there because the pan came off way too easy. Well, I just don't know. It's all speculation. And what I'll have to do is just clean that up, inspect what I can see, and then perhaps just take a chance, put some fresh oil in there, a new filter, and then we shall see. I mean, then the worst thing that can happen is that I'll have to drain the fresh oil out of it again, put the whole transmission through an overhaul, which I hope that's not going to be like right away. I'm hoping it still shifts through all the gears the way it is, and then this buys me time, right? And I'll use it until there's a problem. So guys, it is time to inspect this underside of the transmission a bit closer. The two bolts that I found, they are obviously from this item here, which is, I have to inform myself anyways about what purpose this serves and if there's a spring inside there, or if I can just undo this and service it. Now, the one thing that I would prefer to have is a drain plug in my transmission pan, and it seems like the only location where this would be possible is right about there where my finger is. Actually, that's not true. There's plenty of room here also. Yeah, one nice thing about working under the truck when it's kind of nasty weather, drizzle outside, is that the rain doesn't go through the truck, so I'm dry here. So for now, I'm just going to put the transmission pan back after I clean it up, just with 2-3 bolts, just kind of to protect everything from the elements, and that's all. I'll have to obtain the filter kit and a drain plug kit, and I have to find out about this thing where the bolts came out. Probably, I have the feeling that probably somebody unscrewed this for some reason. Why the bolts weren't put in, I don't know. So hey, it's the next day, and well, yesterday I didn't really know what I was talking about when I was pointing to this thing. Now I know that this is the low reverse servo, and there are 2 bolts missing out of it. So obviously the gasket that is there, it's a metal gasket, won't hold the pressure. That is obvious to me. So probably this truck had problems in low range and reverse, because this servo has a pin that depresses a band which holds a drum, which then makes different gears turn, and then the truck goes in reverse. So in order to get that out, it might be necessary to remove the valve body, but there are videos on YouTube that do it without doing that. And I would like to get this out just for the simple reason that I have the suspicion that maybe somebody messed with it before. Maybe there was a reason to mess with it, like maybe the truck didn't have reverse. Maybe somebody was trying to steal a part and then changed his mind. Or maybe somebody repaired this and didn't torque it properly, and the bolts came out, which I can't believe. So it's probably somebody, for some reason, undid these bolts and then said, oh, the hell with it, just put everything back. And they put the pan back with just whatever oil was still left in there. And now I am here trying to figure this out, trying to make this truck work with minimal effort. Yeah, what else is new? So guys, what do you think happened here? Why were there 2 bolts on my magnet instead of where they belonged? Yeah, this kind of scares me a bit. What other surprises do I have coming with this? Anyways, this is it for this video, and whatever happened after, I'll show you the next round. Leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, well, I would really appreciate if you did that. See you next time.